Hello and welcome to today's video. In this video, we are going to learn Excel's two very interesting features, the text to column and the flash fill features. Excel's text to column feature helps you split combined data into separate columns with just a few clicks. It's especially useful in real-world tasks like breaking apart names, separating dates from timestamps, or cleaning messy imports from databases and CSV files. This tool saves time, improves accuracy, and makes your data much easier to analyze. Excel's flash fill is like a magic for data entry. It learns patterns from the way you type and automatically fills the rest, whether it is splitting names, reformatting phone numbers, or cleaning messy data. In real-world tasks, flash fill saves times, reduces error, and makes data preparation effortless. Here is the agenda for today. As mentioned in the introduction, the agenda is to learn text to column and flash fill features in Excel. Depending on how the data is structured, there are two ways to convert the text into columns. The first one is using delimiters, and the second one is using the fixed width approach. We will learn both ways today. Let us move to the practice sheet. This is the data table on the left, and below that I have a list of practice ideas, and to the right side is my practice area. And as you can see, I have already created placeholders for the results from the text to column feature. So let's start with the first practice idea. The first practice idea is to split full name into first name and last name using delimiter space. Let's select the full name column. Now click the data tab here on the top, and under that click text to columns button and keep the selection under delimited. Now press next button, uncheck the other and check the space option. Again click the next button, and then here now click the destination box here, and the destination for us would be F4. So the data that is split from the full name would appear starting from cell F4. Press finish. As you can see, the full name has been properly split into first name. Let's move on to the second practice idea. The second practice idea is to split email addresses into username and domain. This time we are going to use the delimiter @ symbol. So select the email column. Again, under data tab, select the text to column button. Keep the option as delimited. Press the next button. Now this time uncheck the space and check the other box here, and in the text box enter @ symbol. In the data preview window, you can already see the username being separated from the domain. Press the next button. Again, this time select the destination box here. Now the destination for the result would be cell F11. Press the finish button. As you see, the username has been split from the domain name. Let's move on to the third practice idea. Split address into state, city, state, and pin code. For this exercise, we are going to use comma as the delimiter. Again, select the address column. Go to the top and select the text to column button. Keep it as delimited. Press the next button. This time, select the comma as the separator. Now press the next button. Check the destination box here, and on the Excel sheet, click F18 as your destination cell. Press the finish button now. And as you can see, the address content has been split into state, city, state, and pin code. Now let's move on to the last practice idea. Split order details into components. Now the delimiter for this exercise would be the hyphen character. Select the hyphen column here, and again go to the text to columns button, click the button, select delimited, click the next button. This time uncheck comma, check the other option here and type the delimiter as hyphen. Press next. Select the destination box, and on the sheet select the destination cell, which is F25. Press the finish button. Now we have split the order details into its component parts, which is order prefix, year, country, and order number. Let's now move to the next sheet and practice fixed width feature. At the top left is my data table here. I have used Courier New as the font for my data. Courier New is a monospaced font. This allows you to easily visualize how the data elements are aligned. Looking at the data, you can easily make out that the first column is numeric, the second column is the first name, the third one is the second name, and so on. The fixed width records must be perfectly aligned. Otherwise, it will produce erroneous output when we split the data into columns. Below the data table is the practice idea. Each of these tasks specify the starting and ending position of each data column. For example, the employee ID is the first 3 characters, the first name is the next 14 characters, and so on. When we split the data into columns, all these conditions will be applied at once during the operation, as you will see next. Now select the entire employee records here and go to the data tab and select text to column button. So as you can see here, Excel has already determined the data structure of the records, and it has tried separating out the records into columns here. Press the next button. Excel has already put a marker before each column. However, you can see that there is no marker between the employee ID and the first name column. So let us go ahead and put marker just between the number and the text. So this is the marker. Now we are letting the Excel separate out the numeric column from the first name column. Press the next button. Select the destination box here, and on the Excel sheet, select the destination. Press finish. As you can see here, Excel has been able to successfully convert all these records into columns. Now let us learn about the flash fill feature in Excel. I'm switching to the flash fill sheet. The flash fill in Excel automatically detects patterns in your data and fills the remaining cells based on the example you provide. It's a quick way to split, combine, and reformat text without writing formulas. Now that's a very useful and time-saving feature. Flash fill was first introduced in Excel 2013 and included in all the later versions of Excel. Like usual, we have the data table here, and then I have some practice ideas. So we'll start with the first practice idea. Compose email using first name and last name. So I'm referring to the first name and last name here on the top table. So we will create a sample email using the first name and last email. So that would be john.smith at, let's say, gmail.com. So that's it. So this is one of the pattern that we are going to provide to the flash fill feature. At this point, press the Control E down and then press E. You can see Excel has automatically understood the pattern and it has taken the first name, last name from these two columns and created an email IDs for each of these persons. Now let us move to the second practice idea. Format the phone number using phone number column. So I have the phone number column here. Let us create a sample pattern for Excel to use. So I'll open the bracket, type some characters, type first few digits of the phone number, let's say 987, close the bracket, and then type next three digits 654 hyphen 3210. So this is a sample pattern I am providing Excel, and when I press Ctrl E on this cell, it understood the pattern and it has repeated the same pattern for the remaining phone numbers. Let us now move to the third practice idea. Extract first name from the full name column. So here I have the full name column. From this we are going to extract the first name. Click in this practice area. Simply type the first name here in this column. At this point, press Ctrl E, and as you can see, the first name has been extracted from the rest of the cells in the column. Next, let's go to the fourth practice idea. Extract year from date of birth column. Again, repeat the same process. Simply type the year from the column, date of birth here, and then press enter. Now, at this point, press Ctrl E, and Excel extracts the year from remaining cells. We will move on to the fifth practice idea. Convert first name to uppercase. So just type John in uppercase and repeat the same process. That means press Ctrl E and you have the rest of the names in uppercase. Now let us move on to the sixth practice idea. Convert the last name to uppercase. It has to be lowercase. Convert last name to lowercase. So let me go here, and then we will consider this as the last name column. So type the last name in lowercase, type Smith in lowercase, press Ctrl E, and the rest of the last names are converted to lowercase. Now let's move on to the next practice idea. Practice idea number 7. Compose email ID using full name to and domain name. So for this practice, we are going to use these two columns, full name to and domain name. And this is our practice area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just type the first name dot last name here in lowercase. So that would be Ananya dot RAO at fastmail.com. So after I do this, now press Ctrl E. Now as you see, Excel has automatically understood the pattern and it has created email ID for the rest of the names. Let's now move on to the idea number 8. So enclose missing brackets in item code column. So this is the item code column. As you can see, there are some missing brackets here. Some of the item codes have the bracket, but not all of them have the bracket. So let us create the pattern for Excel to work on this. So type XTR-4927 and then close the bracket. Now, if you press Ctrl E, you can see it has done the job, but not accurately. So some of the item codes where we have the brackets, even for those, it has appended an extra bracket. That means we have to give Excel a unique pattern so that it doesn't do this kind of a mistake. So what we are going to do now is provide Excel a unique pattern so that it does not do mistakes. So this is one pattern where I'm going to provide to it a missing bracket, and in this case the second item code is correct and it doesn't require an additional bracket. So I'm going to print the value as it is, and then these two becomes unique pattern. So what it does is it will find item codes where the brackets are not missing, and for those items it does not suffix the bracket, but only for those item codes where we do not have the bracket, it will suffix the bracket. So we have the pattern ready now. Press Ctrl E anywhere, and the Excel has now properly suffixed the bracket for the missing item codes. Let us move on to the next practice idea. Extract last dress code character from dress code. Here is the dress code column. Now from this dress code column, we have to extract the last character, whether it is W or M. So what we do now is just type W, press Ctrl E. But as you see, this is not the correct output. We are expecting the last character to be printed here, whereas Excel has taken the first character. Oh, that is because we have not given to it a unique or the pattern that we desire it to use. So what we have to do is, like earlier with item codes, provide a unique pattern. For this it would be W, and for shirt it would be M, so that Excel will learn the pattern from these two samples and appropriately print the remaining pattern. So we have the unique pattern now. These two will tell Excel that it has to extract characters from the last character, not from the first. So come here, press Ctrl E, and as we expect, it has now properly extracted the dress code character. Similarly, the last one is to extract measurement value from the measurement column. So here is a measurement column. The number is what we want to extract from the cell. So just type 172, and after that if you press Ctrl E, you can see this is fine, but this one is not correct. So from these values it has extracted only the last digit. So even in this case we need to provide a unique pattern to Excel so that it learns from the pattern. So now type 36.7. So with these two patterns we tell Excel that the numbers can be either integers or decimals. So if it is a decimal, it will extract the entire decimal value. If it is integer, it will extract only the integer value. So with this, press Ctrl E, and Excel is now able to learn the pattern and is able to extract the values from the column. So this concludes the flash fill demonstration.